Okay, hi everybody. I just wanted to come in real quick. I don't have too much memory on my phone to make a long video like I want to, so I'm going to split it up into different parts. I went to, as I was saying before, I'm currently living in San Diego County, and right now I'm in the city of San Diego. And I went to the library. It's called the Malcolm X Library, and I was doing some homework, and older white lady came up to me, and just, she stopped me and she said, "Hey, we're having a meeting. It starts at 1. It's the African Socialist Party." I actually know a little bit about the African Socialist Party, and I know a little bit about their organization that they are that they're over, which is the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. And they actually have a petition out there where they're talking about getting reparations for African people in America because of the genocidal conditions that America has created for blacks, as well as the things that they have committed against blacks that are considered genocide. And the United Nations came up with four guidelines or criteria to prove that these are genocidal conditions, and each one out of those four are, ring true in the black communities. So I went to their long story short, I went to their meeting, and I was just observing, to be honest with you, and I saw some things that I just did not agree with. Several things, and one of them being that, San Diego is known for multiculturalism. That's like a big thing out here. And when I walked into the room, I was just standing up and I was just watching. I didn't want to sit down because I'm like, if I didn't like something, I'm just going to leave. So I stood up and I was just listening, and it was an older black woman there, and she was talking about her son and what her son went through, and I guess he's having problems in the school system or whatever. And she's the president of the Black Lives Matter movement in San Diego, is what she said. And I just, immediately got energy from her that was not positive. She looked at me in a way that was, people are very passive aggressive out here, as I was saying before. Microaggression is what I was been told it's called. And she was very passively aggressive towards me. When she looked at me, she kind of looked at me like, "Oh, who does this light-skinned girl think she is coming up in here?" I know that's how she looked at me, because I've gotten that look before by other black women out here. As well as I've had experiences with black women, especially of a darker skin tone, that treated me that way out here. Now, back at home where I'm from, it ain't like that, because they know that light-skinned black people, they do exist. They don't have to be mixed. Okay, they could be light-skinned and still be black. But out here in San Diego County, or in the city of San Diego, if you see a light-skinned black person, they automatically assume you're mixed. They automatically assume that you're biracial. They don't even ask you the question, "Hey, are you mixed?" They automatically assume before even getting to know you. They already are reading you or calculating you or whatever. And so I was standing up, and after I had that encounter with the black woman, I had an encounter with, not an encounter, but one of the members of the International People's, and it's short for, their acronym is IMPEDM, which is short for International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement, which is under the African Socialist Party. One of the young men that was speaking, I think he's biracial. I can tell by his hair texture. And people say, you shouldn't be talking about stuff like that, da 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 da. I could talk about it because I'm black, and I know when I can tell, and I know when I can, I know when I see a biracial person or a mixed race black person, I can tell, because their hair texture tends to be, kind of like white people's. It may be curly, but it's kind of like their texture. It's not coarse. And he had his nose was very pointy. And so, I could just tell he was biracial. So, and then the long little curly eyelashes that they have, the little long eyelashes that they have. I'm just saying, I call it like I see it. I don't care what people have to say about, oh, you shouldn't say those things about mixed race people. They're black too. I know they're black, but a lot of them don't check their privilege. And this is what I'm trying to get to. The young man was telling me, oh, you need to have a seat because we don't want no spectators and this and that. If you're not going to sit down and watch, then, you pretty much, he was telling me, if you're not going to sit down and watch what we have to say, instead of standing up and being a spectator, then, you know what I mean, you can leave. You're going to have to leave because we don't want that here. And I'm thinking to myself, like, homeboy, I'm black. I could come up in here and spectate all I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see if I was a white person or a Mexican or something other than black, and I was coming up in here looking at what you were saying, and I have no idea what's going on. I'm a fucking black person. You should want me to come up here and spectate because it's about black people and black issues. But it just seems to me he still has that mentality in his head where I'm black and I'm all about black people and black issues, but I still got my multicultural, privileges or friends, or I'm still navigating. As I was saying in the previous videos, I talked about how mixed race people tend to navigate, you know what I mean, and they don't know how or when to check their privilege, and they're just, you know what I'm saying, they're the only reason why I feel, and this is just my opinion, I feel like the only reason why they want to become a part of black issues and be in the black struggle is because they're trying to validate something within themselves. They're trying to validate the fact that they don't feel black enough, because the other black people probably make them feel like, especially out here, because it's big out here. Where I'm from, they realize that light-skinned black people do exist. They'll even ask you, are you mixed? Before they even assume you're mixed. But out here, they just assume that if you're light-skinned like me, that you're not black, or you're not black enough. And a lot of light-skinned, multiracial black people, they want to claim being black, and they want to be all about black struggle and black issues and pushing the agenda, but then they want to go and do their navigation thing. And it's like, okay, well, you got to check that. That's the thing. Because you got to realize that not all black people can do that. Like, the darker skinned black people can't do that. And you got to say, hey, you know what? I know as a light-skinned black person, as a mixed-race black person, I have privileges. So I want to open up a space for other black people to speak that are probably darker skin tone, to speak on the issues that they deal with. I don't want to sit here and, be the poster boy or be, whatever for this organization. Because I still participate in a part of white supremacy, because a part of white supremacy is multiculturalism, is diversity. That's a part of it. That's one of the systems that's attached to it. And a lot of people in San Diego County, in the city of San Diego, don't want to call the shit out. And I'm going to call it out because that's what the hell it is. You know what I'm saying? And he felt like I was being threatening, I guess. And there was a lady, like very, very, very fair-skinned lady. She's from Detroit. She called it out. She said there's a difference. Some people are just observing and they're just taking their time and being cautious. And then there's some people that are being fucking cave beasts. And then there's some people that are being threatening. And he thought I was being threatening. And my thing is, if you felt that way, why would you? And then he tried to, change the dynamic, kind of like, I ain't mean it like that, and oh, it's cool, And it's just like, nah, but what were you trying to do? Like, what was that all about? And see, you got to check your shit. You got to be able to check your shit. You can't sit up here and call yourself a part of the Uhuru movement, and you over here coming at me, and I'm a black woman. I'm actually black. You're mixed. And you over here coming up in my shit. You know what I'm saying? You coming up and trying to get all aggressive with me. But, the older lady from Detroit, she said it. She said, she said, hey, some people are just being cautious. Some people just want to test the air first, test the spirits per se. They're not trying to be threatening. And I agreed with her. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like he felt like I was threatening him. Threatening his presence, threatening his platform. I think it was more so threatening his platform. Because I noticed that a lot of mixed race people, or people who are light skinned, tend to feel like I'm trying to take their title away or take their role away from them. And I spoke about this in my previous videos about how black people here are fighting for a power dynamic. They're fighting for a platform when there shouldn't be no platform, because we're all leaders. We don't need no leaders. We're all here and we're all together to try to fight the movement. But these Negroes out here, these California Negroes, they ain't got it right up in here. And to be honest with you, the movement ain't going to be here. It's going to be on the East Coast. It ain't going to be here because these Negroes still stuck in slavery. They still stuck in the Willie Lynch mentality of light skin, dark skin. And there's some black people that I've come across that they're over that. They understand that, hey, there are light-skinned black people. There are dark-skinned black people. There are brown-skinned black people. Every African person or person of African descent is mixed. So yeah, I will be making a part 2 to this video because I'm running out of memory and I got to do some, reshuffling and deleting some stuff. So, stay tuned for the part 2. Peace.